You're watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
Thanks for starting off your Tuesday with us, everyone. 6 a.m. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Netta Irampour. Yeah, so glad you're with us here. Maybe the wind kept you up last night, because it certainly did for us.
Whipping around.
Let's check in with meteorologist Evan Irani to see what's going on. Certainly feeling like the seasons have finally changed.
Yes, exactly. That fall weather pattern.
The decorations blowing around out there.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm sure that a lot of people have you better have your Halloween decorations up by now. You only have another few days. But you should maybe go check on them, as it was breezy overnight. This was kind of one of our first significant rainfalls of the, I would say, fall into winter season. Things stayed very light. And while I say significant, I mean significant in that it was really the first time that we saw rain. October 1st was the start of our water year. Now we are making our way through this more wet weather pattern. Things have mostly subsided here into our Tuesday morning. You can see that on satellite radar. We saw a wind advisory expire. Beach hazard statement continues out along the coastline, but it looks like by the afternoon we're going to be picking up on mainly 60s, so cooler temperatures, partly cloudy skies. Coming up, we'll talk about the changes in store for this upcoming weekend. Back to you.
Oh, yeah, those sweaters coming in handy. Thank you, Evan. Today, repairs begin at the South Bay International Wastewater Treatment Plant. That's the one in San Ysidro.
The year-long project will expand its capacity to treat sewage coming from Mexico. CBS 8's Regina Yarita live in Imperial Beach with what the governor is saying about our sewage crisis here. Regina?
Yeah, guys, good morning. That's correct. Today, the South Bay Treatment Plant will begin its repairs to expand its capacity. And like you mentioned, has been a years-long effort, but really coming at a slow pace that has affected many residents living here in Imperial Beach. So it's why residents want to make sure that that sense of urgency continues, the one that we've been seeing for the past couple of weeks. So today, some progress will be noticed as they take place a meeting from the International Boundary and Water Commission to speak about the launch of the rehabilitation and expansion of the South Bay Treatment Plant. Now, this expansion is in combination with wastewater infrastructure improvements in Mexico, and it is believed to eliminate up to 90% of untreated wastewater. Meanwhile, Governor Gavin Newsom was in the South Bay yesterday getting an update on the cross-border pollution in the Tijuana River Valley. Newsom's visit came at the request of County Board of Supervisor Chairwoman Nora Vargas. The governor met with the supervisor as well as the governor of Baja California. He toured the wastewater treatment facilities on both sides of the border, and he says work is currently being done at the plants to address the sewage pollution.
The White House on two specific occasions, just in the last calendar year, meeting with the chief of staff, meeting with senior officials to prioritize investments in addressing those outflows in sewage.
Now, the governor during yesterday's visit didn't mention declaring any state of emergency like local officials have been trying to push him to do, as well as President Joe Biden. What he did mention is that an announcement of new efforts will be announced today. That's latest here in Imperial Beach. I'm Regina Urita, CBS 8.
Regina, thanks for the update this morning. We are 1 week away now from Election Day, and the race for president remains neck and neck.
Oh, yeah. So today, Vice President Kamala Harris getting ready to make her closing arguments. Former President Donald Trump will also hold a news conference. For all of this, let's turn it over to CBS 8's Chris Grow live in studio to explain what we can expect a week out here, Chris.
Here we go.
Neck and neck, down to the wire. We'll come up with a couple more cliches here as we get closer and closer to November 5th. But yes, that is the day. It is getting late here. We are down to the very last couple of days here as both candidates continue to make a final appeal to the electorate that includes key battleground states. Now, former President Donald Trump was in Georgia, one of those battleground states, and Vice President Kamala Harris was in Michigan.
Fans the fuel of hate and division, and that's why people are exhausted with him. We here are fighting for the future.
She's a hater. She was a lousy attorney general. She's a fascist. I'm the opposite of a Nazi.
Now, one of the big headlines that came out of that large rally that former President Donald Trump had at Madison Square Garden was the fact that there were some racist jokes that were made by a comedian before a number of different speakers came up. Now, one of the lewd attempts at humor by Tony Hinchcliffe, that comedian, called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. Now, Trump did not make any mention yet so far specifically at that rally in Georgia about those comments, but he will be speaking in Allentown, Pennsylvania today, a city with a large Puerto Rican population. We'll see if he addresses it there after his staff did say that the jokes did not reflect the views of the Trump campaign. Meanwhile, Vice President Kamala Harris focused on the economy at a semiconductor plant and on the youth vote near the University of Michigan. She was heckled at a rally over the issue of the war in Gaza, and Harris is facing a possible split in Michigan's Arab-American voting bloc over the war. Now, the vice president will be making her closing argument speech at Washington, D.C.'s Ellipse, which is the same spot that President Trump delivered his remarks before the January 6th Capitol insurrection. Anthony Salvanto, CBS News' director of elections and surveys, says this is a race that will be determined by voter turnout.
So few undecided voters. Our polling shows that it comes down to people who may decide to vote, may decide not to vote. The turnout's going to be really key. That's what I mean by really tight race.
Now, Salvanto also added that in their polling, they found the gender gap is as large as they have seen since polling began. They do have it neck and neck. Back to you, Eric and Netta.
Okay, Chris, thank you very much for the latest there. And we will have the latest results on Election Day during a special live stream newscast on the CW and the CBS 8 Plus streaming channel after the polls close from 8 to 9:30. Be sure you tune into that. Download our free streaming app on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire TV. And our morning show will also have the very latest updates as those numbers continue to come in the day after Election Day. So today, unionized Sharp healthcare workers will vote on whether to authorize a strike. If approved, thousands of local workers could walk off the job. Their union says it wants Sharp to address what they're calling a patient care crisis. They claim hospitals are understaffed and patient care is suffering because of it. Workers will vote through Friday.
The city of San Diego is expanding homeless shelter options. By December, close to 500 new beds will open up for people needing a place to sleep. This comes as the city is set to lose hundreds of other shelter beds that were always intended to be temporary. Mayor Todd Gloria says there's no quick fix for homelessness, so he's committed to long-term solutions.
As long as there is one person in our city that does not have a roof over their head, we will not stop as San Diegans to make sure that we address this crisis.
The new shelter options are expected to be up and running by December. This morning, crews will repair what the city calls one of the worst roads in San Diego. Aquamanza Road in Mira Mesa is dubbed an alligator road for its numerous cracks. It received a failed rating in the city's most recent street report card. Mira Mesa was the second highest area in San Diego where potholes were reported in 2023. Very tough to drive there on the tires, that's for sure. Today, you're invited to learn more about plans to reopen Harborside Park in Chula Vista. The city wants to hear your ideas for recreational programs. The park was closed over 2 years ago due to concerns about a homeless encampment and crime. There was a shooting that happened there. The meeting is at 5:30 p.m. at Harborside Elementary's auditorium. And the winds last night had the ghosts kind of whipping around, looking even creepier. Free-flowing.
Yeah, very Halloween-like.
Yes.
Forecast is finally starting to feel like it. If you're sending the kids out trick-or-treating, don't worry. We'll be back to dry skies by the time we get to our upcoming Thursday. Some changes here for our Tuesday, though, and they're coming very slowly. So we have seen the majority of showers subside. We saw in total between about 1/100th of an inch and 1/10th of an inch. Wind advisory that was previously in effect for our mountains and deserts has been allowed to expire, but one will remain for the far east deserts pushing into Imperial County. That includes Ocotillo through 9 a.m. today. Still not a ton of time on that one. Beach hazard statement is in effect along the coast until 11 p.m. thanks to high surf with 3 to 6 foot waves. Sets of 7-footers possible in the mix there. Today's likely to be the coolest day of the week as that trough of low pressure is the closest it's been. We are seeing those showers mostly subside now that it is to the east of us. That means that those showers have subsided, but the clouds have not. We're slowly watching as those clouds break apart. We'll get partly cloudy, meaning partly sunny skies by the afternoon. 67 out along the coast, 68 inland, not much of a difference there. 57 across the mountains and 73 for the deserts. Want to look at some of those rain totals. Alpine and Julian, unsurprisingly, came in with some of the highest. Vista had 4/100ths of an inch, Otay Mesa 3/100ths, and then Ramona 1/100th. And again, just about every spot in the county came in within this range, between 1/100th and about 12/100ths of an inch. So very light overall. Another opportunity for more widespread, heavier precipitation this upcoming weekend. Saturday and Sunday is when we're looking at that. Out the door right now, we're mostly in the 50s and low 60s, but again, that 10-day temperature trend kind of foreshadows that with Saturday and Sunday being those cooler days. Those are also the days that we're expecting that rain to return. Let's take a look at on our roads. We have two things to give a mention to. First thing I want to take you to is a stalled vehicle that we have on the 805. This is the 163 southbound from the 805 northbound. Entry ramp is closed right now. Second thing to mention, number 6 lane blocked with a crash on the 8 westbound. Signaler is in play. This is a one vehicle crash on the westbound 8. Let's take a look at your border wait times right now. 85-minute wait at the San Ysidro port of entry, 90-minute wait at the Otay Mesa port of entry. Back to you.